Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Om Ajnāna-timirandhasya Jnānāञ्जनशलाकया Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, I welcome you to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for All session. Today is April 24th, 2026. And we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 8. Lord Krishna shows the universal form within his mouth to his mother. Yesterday we read text 44. The context is that when YASODAMAYI got this jnana that her considering that she is Yaśodā and Krishna is her son and everything else, all the other things that she was thinking, was actually her kumati. And this she got because of the Lord's illusory potency. And she's taking shelter of the Lord. That means may the Lord remove that kumati. That means she should not consider Krishna to be her son anymore. So when she thought like that, what did Krishna do? Krishna got concerned that now my mother won't feed me her milk, she will not chastise me, she will not feed me butter, she will not hug me and cuddle me. What is this? So immediately he withdrew his Aishwarya Shakti, which was causing YASODAMAYI to think like this. And he expanded his Yoga Maya or Vaishnavi Maya. What type of Maya? Putra Snehamayi Maya. And as a result of that, Sadhyo Nashta Smritir Gopi. Instantly, she forgot everything about her, about seeing the universal form in Krishna's mouth and all the other thoughts. So according to her, whatever she thought was her kumati, once again she got that kumati. Actually, it is not kumati, but she was thinking it is kumati to think that Krishna is her son. So now once again she got the same thing. She got that. And actually this is her natural position. This is her swarupa. It is not that she, like how it happens to people in this material world, because of being covered by Maya, then you get a false identity, isn't it? Because of ahankara, we get a false identity every time. We get a body, then we get a new identity each time. Is that our true identity? It's not. That is Kumati. So that means the Lord's Maya is giving us some identity which is not actually true. It's not our true identity. Is that what is happening to YASODAMAYI when Krishna spread his Maya, Vaishnavi Maya, Putra Snehamayi Maya, that now because of under illusion, because of the Lord's Maya, Maya means that which is not, isn't it? So when you say Maya means, should we think like that? That she's getting some illusion? No. She was actually coming back to her. Coming back means she was in that always. That's her Swarupa. But just because of that Aishwarya, temporarily, for a few seconds, she got this Vairagya, Virakti, right? That I'm not all this, like that. So there are some more points here that His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj explains, which I could not cover yesterday because I was in a hurry, so I didn't cover all the points. You see, this Aishwarya Shakti, which manifested in front of YASODAMAYI, this is also the Lord's Yogamaya. So Yogamaya has different functions. So, and that Yogamaya can also be classified in different ways, based on the criteria, whatever you're looking at, you can classify it. Just like if you wanted to classify the citizens of India, you can classify in so many different ways. You can classify them based on the regions, right? You can say northern region, southern region, eastern region, western region, like that, central region. So you can classify like that, people belonging to these regions. Or you can classify based on their language. So many classifications can be made. One country and the same people are classified in different ways, like that. So here Yogamaya can have two types of energies. What are they? So one way is, you say Sandhini, Samvid, Haladin, that's one way of classification. But here you can classify Yogamaya as having Madhurya Shakti and Aishwarya Shakti. There are two types of Shaktis, Madhurya Shakti and Aishwarya Shakti. So then within Madhurya Shakti, you will have again, so Madhurya Shakti means the Shakti which is ruling in Vraja. So within that now you will have Sakhya, Vatsalya, and then conjugal, like that, different Dasya also. In Vrindavan, there's Dasya relationship, but that is Madhurya Shakti. And then, of course, you have Aishwarya Shakti. So generally, we understand that in Vraja, Aishwarya Shakti is not there. But as we read, she's looking for an opportunity to serve. She's also the Lord Shakti. She also wants an opportunity to serve the Lord. So she's looking for an opportunity. So we see that Aishwarya Shakti also plays some role in the pastimes of the Lord. One instance we see is when Yaśodā tried to tie Krishna in Damodar Leela. She wanted to tie Krishna, but the Aishwarya Shakti would not let Yaśodā tie Krishna. Why? Krishna is the Supreme Lord and he is, Vibhu. He is infinitely big. How can anyone tie? So that means that Aishwarya Shakti was not allowing Yaśodā to tie Krishna. His Aishwarya, he is the Supreme Lord. He is unlimited. That is his Aishwarya. That Aishwarya was standing up and not allowing Yaśodamayi to tie Krishna. Then what made that Aishwarya go back? In this case, Yaśodamayi's endeavor, her hard work, she didn't give up. All day, from early in the morning until evening, she just kept, she was calling the gopis to go bring more rope, whatever there is in your homes, just bring. So they were just running, all the gopis from their homes, they were bringing rope. But every time she would try to tie the knot, it would be 2 fingers, exactly 2 fingers too short. When she tried to tie the final knot, the rope would be 2 fingers too short. Who was doing that? So that Aishwarya Shakti was not allowing it. Then how she managed to tie? Her hard work. So those 2 fingers are signifying, first finger is hard work. And by that hard work, Krishna's mercy. Second finger is Krishna's mercy. So what happened was, seeing Yaśodamayi's hard work all day, the flowers from her hair fell down, she's perspiring, but she didn't give up. Then Krishna's Vatsalya Bhava, means Bhakta Vatsalata, that came out. His Kripa, his mercy came out. And in front of Krishna's mercy, that Aishwarya went down. And then Krishna allowed himself to be bound by Yaśodamayi. So that's one instance where we see the Aishwarya Shakti coming out. Also, in Brahma Vimohan Leela, earlier also we discussed, when Krishna went to steal butter in different gopis' homes, simultaneously he would enter into thousands of gopis' homes. This is Aishwarya. This is Krishna's Aishwarya Shakti. Simultaneously, he is, because when you say Madhurya, Madhurya means just like just like a small boy. Just a small boy. So when Krishna is killing those demons, that's also Aishwarya Shakti. It's not that he doesn't have, that also we read a couple of verses before this. When Yaśodamayi saw inside Krishna's mouth, that Aishwarya Shakti was the one that was revealing. And that Aishwarya Shakti, it's not like now it's coming. It's always there. Avyahata means it is never diminished. Aishwarya Shakti is never diminished. It is there at all times. However, it is, it cannot show itself in front of the love of the Brajbasis. It is subordinate. In Vraja, Aishwarya cannot, when it comes in front of the Madhurya Shakti, it remains subordinate. It cannot, stand up like that. So Aishwarya Shakti is also looking for opportunities to serve. That's the point. So in Brahma Vimohan Leela, when Krishna personally became all the cowherd boys, all the cows, that's also Aishwarya Shakti. But always we see that in these pastimes, Aishwarya Shakti is serving Madhurya Shakti. It's taking a subordinate role, assisting Madhurya Shakti in Vraja. That is the role of Aishwarya. Then there is one more Shakti of Krishna, Jnana Shakti. Jnana Shakti is also one Shakti of Krishna. Like Aishwarya Shakti, there's Jnana Shakti. Now Yaśodamayi got this Jnana. Remember, after this whole thing, when she surrendered to the Lord and she got this Jnana that I am foolishly thinking that I am protecting and he is my son and all that. What are we doing? We are doing nothing. Actually, this is all the Lord's doing. Like that. We are nobody. So this Jnana also has a role. You know what is the role of Jnana Shakti in devotees' lives? The role of Jnana Shakti is to, Maharaj explains like this, the role of Jnana is to give us love, ultimately. Generally, when we say Jnana, whenever we hear Jnana in Bhagavad Gita, when we hear the word Jnana, like we hear Jnana-yoga, right? So that Jnana means not Jnana related to Bhagavan, not that, any knowledge about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is not called Jnana. That is Bhakti Jnana. Bhakti Jnana is Bhakti only. It is not Jnana. So whenever you hear that Jnana is given a subordinate position, Jnana for devotees, it's not, pure devotees don't take any help from Jnana. If need be, sometimes if you like, you may take help. It's just your choice. You may take help from Jnana before you enter pure devotional service. Then what is this Jnana we are talking about? This Jnana is Tvam Padartha Jnana, Tat Padartha Jnana, and Aikya Jnana. So generally you take help of Tvam Padartha Jnana, that I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul. Like Krishna also in Bhagavad Gita, Nishkama Karma Yoga, the beginning, Krishna says, Ashochan anvashochastvam pragya vadamscha bhashase gatasun agatasumscha nanu shochanti pandita. There, Krishna begins with this Jnana. Natve vaham jatu nasam natvam neme janadipaha nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayam atah param. That means there was never a time, that means you're not this body. That's the point. You're a spirit soul. That's called Tvam Padartha Jnana. Devotees don't need this. To do their devotional service, they don't need this. However, it can be helpful. You may use this knowledge. Before you get that Dridha Shraddha, you may use this knowledge. But it is not that devotees take shelter of this knowledge to do their bhakti. No. For example, when you take bath in the morning to attend Mangalarti and it is cold, do you take bath thinking that when it is cold, do you take bath thinking that I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul? So the spirit soul doesn't experience cold, heat or anything. This body is just, do you say, Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada agama paino nityastam stitikshasva bharata. This feeling cold and feeling hot, this is just happening due to the senses coming in contact with the sense objects. The soul has nothing to do with this. Do you think like that when you take bath in the morning with cold water? No. What do we think? Oh, I want to go and take darshan of the deity. Mangalarti. I want to be there on time. I want to be there in the association of devotees. Let me go. I want to be there. It will please Krishna when all the devotees come together and sing together. So are we taking shelter of Jnana? No. But if somebody thinks that it helps them, they can take that help before pure devotional service. So the point here is this Jnana Shakti, when you say, but it's different when you talk about Krishna's, how the Supreme Personality, the knowledge that you get about the Supreme Lord, about Bhakti also. How many types of Bhakti are there? What is Shuddha Bhakti? What is other types of Bhakti? All this is Bhakti only. This is not Jnana. All the philosophy that we study in Bhakti Sandarbha, the Sandarbhas, this is all Bhakti, purely Bhakti. It is not Jnana. Don't think it is Jnana. So, this Jnana, the purpose of Jnana, knowledge, let's say Bhakti Jnana also. The purpose of Jnana is to give us love. Even let's say Bhakti Jnana, Aishwarya, about Aishwarya of the Lord. When you hear about Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter or 10th chapter, right? You hear about all the vibhutis of the Lord. I am the moon among all stars. I am Airavata among all elephants. Like that, when Krishna is saying, why? Why is that knowledge important? It's important for pure devotees. It is. That knowledge. So that is jnana, but it is bhakti jnana. So bhakti jnana is bhakti only. That's also knowledge about the Lord. But how is that knowledge helping pure devotees? Especially in pure devotees, dasa bhaktas. That means when we first enter into pure devotional service, what relationship do we have with the Lord? We are all servants. Because we didn't get that, taste and all that. I mean, theoretically we understand because we got the seed in this devotional line. We will get this relationship eventually. But at the present moment, what is the consciousness of the devotee? I am a servant and he is the Supreme Lord. Yes, he is the master and I am the servant. So dasa bhaktas. So what is important for dasa bhaktas, for servants? To know the greatness of the master. The more you understand, you hear about the greatness of the master, the more confidence, and it helps you to gain that confidence in the Lord and render service to him. Because my master is so great. He's so powerful. He can protect. So this is very important for dasa bhaktas, for devotees. So jnana is important. And then what will happen if you get this type of aishvarya jnana about the Lord, then you render service to him. Then you keep progressing in bhakti, and ultimately where will you come? What is the goal? You want to develop prema. So that is why jnana is useful to develop prema. In this way we can understand Maharaj's statement when he's saying jnana is needed for getting prema in devotee's case. So here when you say jnana, obviously it's bhakti jnana. This is not tvam padartha jnana. But what is the knowledge that Yaśodāmayi is getting here? She's getting, I'm not this body, basically. Tvam padartha jnana, right? After this Aishwarya Shakti, seeing Aishwarya Shakti, that Aishwarya Shakti hit her, like from the Aishwarya Shakti's perspective, it hits very hard. But Yaśodāmayi was, just a little bit. For a few seconds, she was affected and she thought that, foolishly I'm thinking I'm Yaśodā and all that. In this case, the point that Maharaj is making is that when, take this example, consider this example. Somebody wants to cross the river. One person wants to cross the river. So he sits in a boat and crosses the river. So the purpose of the boat is what? Cross the river. So he sat in the boat and he crossed the river. So the purpose of boat is finished. Now after going on the other side, he takes the boat on his head and he starts walking. How does it look? Ridiculous, isn't it? The purpose of the boat is over. He doesn't need to carry it on his head. So here, Yaśodāmayi is an eternal associate of Krishna. She doesn't need any jnana to get love for Krishna. She already has so much love. I mean, she's an eternal associate of the Lord. Her heart is filled with love. In fact, all the Premi Bhaktas in Braja put their heads at her lotus feet. She's so exalted, so great. That means her love is so great for Krishna. Does she need jnana? She doesn't need any jnana. So jnana, people may use it, may need it to come to get prema. She's already there. Why she needs that? So like that, Maharaj is explaining. So anyway, that shloka we discussed yesterday. So now Yaśodāmayi's condition is Krishna withdrew that Aishwarya Shakti. So all that jnana and everything just vanished. Her memory just disappeared. Once again, she was like before, her heart was now filled with affection. Immediately she thought, oh, my dear boy, he must be so hungry. I haven't fed him anything in a while. And she immediately took him in her arms and began to breastfeed him. So now we'll read the next verse. So we are reading about Yaśodāmayi here. Just see the greatness of her love. So now her heart is filled with love. No? Trayyā copaniṣadbhiśca sāṅkhya-yogaiś sātvataiḥ upagīyamāna-māhātmyaṁ hariṁ sāmanyatātmajam trayyā copaniṣadbhiśca sāṅkhya-yogaiś sātvataiḥ upagīyamāna-māhātmyaṁ hariṁ sāmanyatātmajam. Trayyā. Trayyā. You know who's trayyā? Trayyā means Trayvidya Soma Maputa Papa. So this trayyā means. Yes, please. Go ahead.
Veda.
Mattam cheppandi.
Veda Mataji. Vedas, 3 Vedas.
Acha, Vedas. Yes. Like that. Okay, yes. So trayyā means the 3 sections of the Vedas. That means the 3 sections of the Vedas which are dealing with the 3 modes of material nature. Krishna also tells Arjuna in the 2nd chapter that, what is that shloka? Where he says that the Vedas deal mainly with the 3, mainly deal with the subject of the 3 modes of material nature. O Arjuna, you rise above these 3 modes, become free from all dualities, like that.
Traigunya Vishya Veda, Nistraigunya Bhavarva.
Nirdvandvo, Nitya Sattvasto, Niryogakshema Atmavan. Yes, thank you, Mataji. Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. Yes. So the Vedas are dealing with the subject of the 3 modes of material nature. Nistraigunya, you rise above these 3 modes. So trayyā means those who are worshippers, right? Those who follow this Trayvidya. That means, they follow Karma Kanda. You have Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, Upasana Kanda. This is there in the Vedas. So those who follow Trayvidya or the Vedas, these 3 subjects, they are called trayyā. What is the important point in this shloka? So this Krishna, whom Yaśodāmayi loves so much, how do other people see Krishna, see this hariṁ? How do other people see? So trayyā means those who follow Vedas. You can say Karmakandis. Those who follow the Trayvidya. How do they see Krishna? The Karmakandis. They see Krishna as the owner of the whole world. So by performing big yagyas, so when you perform yagya, what are you doing? By yagya, you are satisfying. Who is the yagya Purusha? Lord Vishnu. So Krishna or Vishnu is the Supreme Lord. So when you perform yagyas, you are satisfying the Lord. And then by satisfying the Lord, you will get the results of that yagya. So by performing yagya, you want to go to Swarga, or you want to become the emperor, so on and so forth, whatever you want. So because Krishna is the Supreme Lord means he is the Lord owner of the whole world. Sarva-loka maheshwaram, bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarva-loka maheshwaram. He is the proprietor. So when we satisfy him by yagya, then he will award us whatever we want. This is how the trayyas look at Krishna. Their understanding of Krishna, their vision of Krishna is he is the Lord of this whole universe, of this whole world. When we satisfy him by performing yagyas, we can get whatever we want. He can give us Swarga, he can give us anything. And Upaniṣads, that means those who study the Upanishads. Those who are studying, who studies Upanishads? Tell me. In our transcendental diagram, who studies Upanishads?
Jnana Yogis.
Jnanis.
Yes, Jnanis, Jnana-yogis. After Nishkama Karma Yoga, then they take shelter of a guru and a Tattvadarshi Guru. And under the Tattvadarshi Guru, they are studying, hearing Upanishad. So what is the vision of these Upanishads? Those who study Upanishads, these Jnana Yogis, how do they look at Krishna? Yes, Mataji, Rajakishari Mataji.
No, sorry, it was a mistake. I was just pressing something. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. So these Jnanis, Jnana Yogis, how do they see Krishna? They see Krishna as Brahman. Brahman means transcendental to this Prakriti. The one who is beyond this Prakriti. That is their goal. So when they see Krishna, of course, this is not Mayavadis, because Mayavadis' vision is different. They see Krishna's body also as made of material energy. So this is not Mayavadi, but the Jnana Yogis, the proper Jnana Yogis, or you call Brahmavadis. How do they see Krishna? Because they see the Lord also, his body also as transcendental. However, their goal is Brahman. So when they see Krishna, they see him as that Brahman, the one who is beyond this Prakriti. That's how they see. When they see Krishna, they see him as Brahman, Upaniṣads. Then the Sāṅkhya-yogis, Sāṅkhya-ites, how do they see Krishna? Their vision is that he is Ishvara. That means he is the controller, Paramatma. So, controller Ishvara, he is controlling Prakriti and is controlling the living entities. That is Paramatma. Paramatma means one who controls the marginal energy and external energy. He is Ishvara. So the Sāṅkhya-ites, when they see like Ishvara, the controller. And the yogis, Ashtanga yogis, how do they see Krishna? They see him as the greatest personality, Mahapurusha. Yogis see Krishna as Mahapurusha, the greatest person. And then what about Satvata? Satvata means devotees. How do devotees see Krishna? When they see Krishna, they see their Ishtadev. Ishtadev means whoever is their worshipable deity. When they see Krishna, they will see their worshipable deity. If you are a devotee of Lord Narasimhadev, when you see Krishna, who do you see? You see Nrsingadev. If you are a devotee of Lord Ramchandra, then when you see Krishna, if Hanumanji saw Krishna, what would he see? He would see Lord Ramchandra. Like that. So Sattvatas or devotees, when they see Krishna, what do they see? They see their worshipable deity, their Ishta form of the Lord, their Ishtadev, Ishta form of the Lord. So once again, how do the Karmakandis see when they see Krishna? How do they see Krishna? They see him as the proprietor of this whole world. So by satisfying him through yajna, we can get whatever we want, going to Swarga, etc. The Jnani yogis or Jnanis, how do they see Krishna? They see him as Brahman. Beyond, someone who is beyond this Prakriti, beyond this material world. The Sāṅkhya-ites, they see Krishna as the controller, Paramatma, controller, who is controlling both the living entities and Prakriti. The yogis, they see Krishna as the Supreme Person. And the Sattvatas or devotees, when they see Krishna, they see their worshipable deity, the form that is most dear to their hearts. That's what they see when they see Krishna. Now the Lord, Hari, who is glorified by all these different personalities in different ways. Everyone, each one of them is glorifying Krishna. Upagīyamāna means they are singing his glories, they are glorifying him. Māhātmyaṁ, his glories are sung by these personalities, these different personalities. Hari, whose glories are sung by these various different personalities. How is YASODAMAYI seen? And sāmanyatātmajam. Sa means her, YASODAMAYI. Manyata means she considers. this Hari, whose glories are sung by all these different personalities, trayyās, Upanishadbhiś, sāṅkhya-yogaiś, yogis, sātvatas, that Hari, how does YASODAMAYI see him? Yaśodā, Manyata, considers Atmajam. Whenever she sees Krishna, she only sees her son. She doesn't see anything else. She doesn't see him as the Supreme Lord. She doesn't see him as a great person. She doesn't see him as the controller, as the proprietor, as Brahma, nothing. She only sees Krishna as her son. Hariṁ sāmanyatātmajam. She simply considers Krishna as her son. So, our acharyas in the association of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or hearing from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they have analyzed these bhakti siddhantas very scrutinizingly. They have analyzed this vatsalya bhava, which is a very high elevated state in bhakti of YASODAMAYI. And they have explained to us. YASODAMAYI chastises Krishna, loves Krishna, feeds him her breast milk. When she is doing all this, what is her feeling? She only considers Krishna to be her child, nothing else. And this consciousness is a very, very, very advanced consciousness of love, vatsalya prema. So that's why this verse is showing the greatness of YASODAMAYI. She doesn't see Krishna as the Lord. She doesn't see Krishna as the controller. She doesn't see Krishna as Bhagavan also. Sattvatas are seeing him as Bhagavan, their worshipable form of Bhagavan. But she doesn't see Krishna as Bhagavan also. She sees Krishna only as her son. And then with that, and because she sees him as her son, then she's concerned. Oh, he may be, hungry, or she wants to protect him, and everything else that she does is simply because she sees Krishna as her son. And as a mother, she's always trying to nourish him, protect him, love him, like that. Translation. The glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are studied through the Vedas, through the 3 Vedas, the Upaniṣads, the literature of Sāṅkhya-yoga, and other Vaiṣṇava literature. Yet, Mother Yaśodā considered that Supreme Person her ordinary child. Purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 15:15 by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, the purpose of studying the Vedas is to understand him. Vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedyaha. The purpose of studying all the Vedas. What is the purpose of the Vedas? Why are the Vedas there? To know Krishna. That's the conclusion of the Vedas, that we should surrender to Krishna. So, in Bhagavad Gita 15:15, it is stated that the purpose of studying the Vedas is to understand Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained to Sanatana Goswami that there are 3 purposes of Vedas. One is to understand our relationship with Krishna, Sambandha. So, what exactly about Krishna do you need to know? Yes? So, the purpose of Vedas is to understand him. What do you need to understand about him? What is it that you need to understand about Krishna? First is, we have to understand our relationship with Krishna. Who is Krishna and what is my relationship with him? This is called Sambandha Tattva. Another Another is to act according to that relationship, abhideya. After you know the relationship, then what are the activities in that relationship? What are the activities in that relationship? And the third, so that is called abhideya. So the Vedas, the purpose of the Vedas is to get these three types of knowledge. The third is to reach the ultimate goal, prayojana. So what is the goal of those activities in a relationship? So this is nicely explained by Srila Prabhupada with the example of the parents fix a match for their, let's say, a daughter. So by consulting, you have these marriage matchmakers. Yes, matchmakers they are called. So they, so the parents consult that if there is any suitable, person, a boy, and then how do they decide? Through astrological, by studying astrological charts. Srila Prabhupada explains this in the context of Kardama Muni and Devahuti's wedding. In one of the purports there, Srila Prabhupada explains. It is the parents' responsibility to actually find a suitable spouse for the children. You should not let the children, either boy or girl, to just go and find their own partner. Nowadays, parents feel that you can select whoever you like, and then we will, come in after that and we'll get the whatever, the marriage. We will do that. But actually, that is a big blunder. Because they don't have that vision, that intelligence and that vision to see who is suitable for them. Simply based on physical experience, right? Srila Prabhupada says, no, that's not good. And it is actually irresponsible on the parents' part. It is irresponsible because we want to, get away with that hard work. We don't have to do that work. Let them do it and it'll make kids before, and in families that are still maintaining that tradition and culture, this responsibility is taken very seriously. The parents finding a suitable partner, spouse for their son or daughter. They take it very seriously. It's a responsibility that the daughter and for the son also, but especially for the daughter. Then they're protected. So this is the parents' responsibility. So how do they do that then? Even before seeing the person, first they check the astrological charts. Their natures should match. Their characters, their nature should match. That's important. They should be of the same character, same nature. And then, of course, there are other considerations also. Family and, so on and so forth. So in Kardama Muni's case, it is said that he was a yogi and Devahuti was also a yogini. And this was arranged by the Lord. We cannot expect that will happen for all of us, that the Lord is arranging, finding. And imagine, why not? Of course, the Lord is extremely merciful, but Kardama Muni, he performed for 10,000 years, he worshipped the Lord. The Lord was so pleased with Kardama Muni, he came, appeared in front of him, and he said, I've already arranged. Whatever you're desiring, I've made the arrangement, and soon, Swayambhu Manu will be coming with his wife and the daughter. And then he also said how she will be samashila, same nature as yours. So you will be very satisfied. This is important in marriages. That has to be seen. So why I'm saying this is, well, this was just an additional side point. I just remembered that. But Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana, Prabhupada gives the example of weddings. So first the parents arrange the wedding. That's why I was saying this. So they find who is suitable. So they fix the match. The parents fix the match. Of course, it's not that the girl has no say. It's not like that. She can tell. The parent will ask the child, do you have anyone in your mind? But it's not that she'll just go and she will propose or he will go and propose, and then that is allowed only for Kshatriyas. Where are Kshatriyas today? We see Shakuntala and Dushyanta Maharaj's case. Yes, she could do that. Kshatriyas are allowed to do that. Gandharva Vivaha. Like taking, the demigods and directions as their witness. They get married. Gandharva. But that's not for everyone. There are 5 types of weddings. And it's not that all 5 are for everybody. No. So Gandharva Vivaha is only for Kshatriyas. It's not that I like you, you like me, and then we just... Human beings means we have to have dharma. Without dharma, then we are not human beings. Dharmena hina pashubhi samana. Animals also, they just find their partners, and then if we are not even following dharma, how we can say we are devotees? That is far above that. Vaiṣṇavas. Dharma is important. So the parents will arrange. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, I can go on and on and on. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's case also, there was this matchmaker, Vanamali Acharya, I think. So he arranges. He comes to Sachi Mata and then he brings the proposal and she likes and everything. Actually, she doesn't. She's not that she doesn't like, she just says, my son is still studying and, let him study now. It's too early for marriage. So he becomes sad and he goes away, the matchmaker. But while he's going away, on the way, Mahaprabhu Chaitanya, Lord Gauranga is coming home. He says, oh, in his, as Nimai Pandit, he was very jovial, very joking. So he said, oh, which house did you go to today? I went to your house. What happened? He refused. So he just pacified, Mahaprabhu pacified, and he sent him home. And then he came home. And then, he just passed a comment that, what was so wrong in the proposal brought by Vanamali Acharya? Then immediately she got the hint. Oh, he likes it. So immediately she went and called him and he was waiting there outside. He knew. So he was sitting under a tree somewhere. So she called for him, and then the match was fixed. So the point is the parents arrange. That's the point in giving all these examples. So sambandha means, first of all, the relationship is established. Who is establishing the relationship? The parents are establishing. But I'm saying, the parents ask in Swayambhuva Manu and Devahuti's case, Swayambhuva Manu asked Devahuti. And they understood that she liked also Kardama Muni. And then the father takes it forward from there. So it's not that she has no say. In Rukmini Devi's case also, they knew, her father Bhishmaka knew that she loved Krishna and he wanted that too. But her brother Rukmi, he had already given his word to Shishupal. So he said, no, this cannot be. So by force, he arranged her wedding to Shishupal. But otherwise, it's not that the girl has no say. If she has someone in her heart, the father should ask, do you have somebody you're thinking? And then you should get them married also at the right age. It's important. Otherwise, girls, their age becomes, because of the lifestyle nowadays, working, studies, and so on. They'll be 30, sometimes even 40, I've seen, and then they don't even get married and they're not happy. So it is the parents' responsibility to find the girl a suitable husband and get her married. So that's first one, sambandha. And then what? So traditionally, this was done, at a young age, actually, even before the girl attained puberty. But that doesn't mean she would go and live with her husband. No, she would be living with her parents. But she has this psychological security. She feels, like she belongs somewhere. She has a husband. You belong to somebody. You're not like anybody can come and pick me up. It's not like that. She feels that I have a husband. So that is important for a girl. So that is why they would get her married at a young age, but she will still be staying with her parents until she got her puberty. But meanwhile, there are activities that are happening after the relationship is established. Now she has a husband, they are married, but she'll be staying with her parents. But then abhideya means there are activities to be done in that relationship. What are those activities? So he will come and visit with his parents. He will come, and then when he visits, she is trained to cook something and, offer obeisances and, cook for him, serve him prasad, like that, activities to be done. And then when she's grown up, she's sent there, and then she will continue doing her services. And because of these, what is the whole purpose of marriage? To get a child, to get a son, so that the family lineage will continue forward. That's the whole creation story also. Brahmaji is telling, he told Kumaras, procreate. They didn't want to do it. Then he created the Prajapatis and all of them, now it is there. Kardama Muni, he said, Prajasrija, you produce children. So Kardama Muni performed tapasya for 10,000 years so that he could get a wife and then he could produce children because his father ordered him to produce children, like that. So I'm saying the prayojana, the purpose of marriage is to produce children. So we forget all these things. What is the whole purpose of marriage is also forgotten. People don't even want to have children. They don't want to get married. So Sambandha, abhideya and prayojana. Sambandha means fixing the relationship, establishing the relationship. Abhideya means what are the activities in that relationship, and then what is the goal of those activities. So in marriage, what is the goal? To produce a child. So when the activities are there, when she's serving the husband nicely, then naturally their love will grow and eventually she will have a child. Like that, now you compare that to our bhakti. The purpose of Vedas is, what is the whole purpose of Vedas? Vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedyaha. To understand Krishna. So that understanding is also three types. First is Sambandha. From Vedas, we should understand who is Krishna, what is my relationship with Krishna. Then second is, in this relationship, is there any activity? Of course, there has to be some activity. That is Abhideya. What is that activity? Bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandam, Sāṅkhya-yogaiś. So, the activity is Bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam. That is Abhideya. And what is the prayojana? To develop prema, love. Like we were discussing in the Chaitanya Charitamrita class this morning, Mahaprabhu is saying, quoting from Shastra, you cannot get prema by doing karma and offering that to Krishna. You will never get, Mahaprabhu says. I'm not saying. You do karma, and with that karma you earn money, and with that money you give some donation in the temple, and all, you'll never get prema by that, Mahaprabhu is saying. By karmarpanam, you'll never get prema. By karmarpanam, if you perfect in karmarpanam, then you may get mukti, 5 types of mukti. Mukti is in Vaikuntha, not in Goloka. But if you want love for Krishna, what will give you love for Krishna? Only Shravana Kirtanadi Rupa Bhakti. So we should invest our energy, our efforts, our time in the right place. Be clear about what is your goal. If your goal is love for Krishna, don't waste your time in karma. You're not going to get love. Mahaprabhu is saying, is he the authority or not? And he's quoting from Shastra too. He'll never say anything without quoting from Shastra. You can refer to it yourself. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 9, text 256, I believe. 256, 57, like that. You can check. You'll never get prema by doing karma and offering karma. And Mahaprabhu is saying this in a discussion with a Tattvavadi Acharya. Mahaprabhu asked what is the highest goal and what is the best means to achieve that goal. So the Tattvavadi Acharya said, Tattvavadi Acharya means they are worshippers of Udupi Krishna in the line of Madhvacharya. So that Acharya said, the best sadhana is to do your Varnashrama Dharma and offer that to Krishna, Karmarpanam. This is the best sadhana. And by doing this, you'll get mukti, 5 types of mukti in Vaikuntha. And that is the highest goal. All Shastras are saying this. Immediately Mahaprabhu rejected that. Said, Shastras say that Shravanam Kirtanam is the supreme sadhana. And the highest goal is Krishna Prema. Krishna Prema you get by doing Shravanam Kirtanam. By doing Karma Arpanam, you will never get Krishna Prema. Rather, karma is condemned in Shastra. Karma Tyaga. Shastra says you should renounce all karma. Like that. So, Shravanam Kirtanam. So here, Sambandha, Abhideya and Okay, everybody's still here. I don't know what happened. My laptop just froze. You're able to hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay, great. Okay. So, yes, thank you. So let's continue. So, the Vedas, the purpose of the Vedas is to, the purpose of the Vedas is to enable us to understand Krishna. And understanding Krishna, there is 3 types of understanding: Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Sambandha means to understand our relationship with Krishna. Abhideya means what activities we need to do in that relationship. So what is the relationship? He is the Supreme Lord. He is the Supreme Master. We are servants. And then there are other relationships also. Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, like that. But initially we start as servants only. And then in that relationship, the activity is, so Jivera Swarupohe Krishnera Nitya Das. So we are servants of Krishna. That is the relationship. Abhideya means Shravanam Kirtanam. Prayojana, goal is love of Godhead. The word Prayojana means necessities. And the ultimate necessity is explained by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prema Pumartho Mahan. The greatest necessity for a human being is the achievement of love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The greatest necessity for a human being is the achievement of love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here we see that Mother Yaśodā is on the highest stage of necessity, for she is completely absorbed in love for Krishna. Oh, what's going on? I don't know. So many windows are open. Anyway, we'll just finish this house. In the beginning, the Vedic purpose is pursued in 3 ways. Trayyā, by Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, and Upasana Kanda. So who will do this in our transcendental diagram? Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, Upasana Kanda. This is done by the karmis. When one reaches the complete perfect stage of Upasana Kanda, one comes to worship Narayan or Lord Vishnu. So Upasana Kanda means people worship demigods. People can even worship Lord Vishnu, but when they worship Lord Vishnu, they worship him like a demigod. That means by worshipping Lord Vishnu, I will get some material result. I worship him for some material result. Simply as, a supplier, right? You'll worship so you can get some material result. That's all. Upasana Kanda. But when that Upasana Kanda, in the perfect stage of Upasana Kanda, one comes to worship Narayan or Lord Vishnu. When Parvati asked Lord Mahadev, Lord Shiva, what is the best method of Upasana or worship? Lord Shiva answered, Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnor Aradhanam param. So, of all types of Upasana, the best Upasana is worship of Lord Vishnu. Vishnu Upasana or Vishnu Aradhana, worship of Lord Vishnu, is the highest stage of perfection as realized by Devaki. But here Mother Yaśodā performs no Upasana. What type of worship is Yaśodamayi doing? She's simply seeing Krishna as her son. But here Mother Yaśodā performs no Upasana, for she has developed transcendental ecstatic love for Krishna. Therefore, her position is better than that of Devaki. In order to show this, Srila Vyasdev enunciates this verse, trayyā copaniṣadbhiś. So, this verse is actually showing that in the coming verses also we will see this. But this verse is showing Yaśodamayi's highest position, that she sees Krishna. She is not performing arti of Krishna. She is not bowing down before Krishna. She is simply seeing Krishna as her son. She feeds him, she bathes him, she cuddles him, like that. Protects him, chastises him. That's her type of worship. Here Mother Yaśodā performs no upasana, for she has developed transcendental ecstatic love for Krishna. Therefore, her position is better than that of Devaki. In order to show this, Srila Vyasadeva enunciates this verse, trayyā copaniṣadbhiś, etc. What about Devaki Mai? Devaki Mai is always aware that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is why there is Aishwarya. No doubt, she also has Vatsalya Bhav. She has so much love for Krishna as her son. But that Vatsalya Bhav also has this Aishwarya. She is aware that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So then when there is Aishwarya, what happens? That love becomes shrunken. It shrinks. When a human being enters into the study of the Vedas to obtain vidya, knowledge, he begins to take part in human civilization. Then he advances further to study the Upanishads and gain Brahma Jnana, impersonal realization of the absolute truth. And then he advances still further to Sāṅkhya-yoga in order to understand the supreme controller who is indicated in Bhagavad Gita. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham, Shashvatam. So Sāṅkhya-yoga, he is seeing as the supreme controller, Param Brahma. When one understands that Purusha, the supreme controller, to be Paramatma, one is engaged in the method of yoga. Yoga means the Param Purusha. Dhyana avasthita tad gatena manasa pashyanti yam yoginah. And devotees see as their worshipable deity, Bhagavan. But Mother Yaśodā has surpassed all these stages. She has come to the platform of loving Krishna as her beloved child, and therefore she is accepted to be on the highest stage of spiritual realization. The absolute truth is realized in three features: Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti Shabdyate. But she is in such ecstasy that she does not care to understand what is Brahman, what is Paramatma, or what is Bhagavan. She doesn't care to know that. Bhagavan has personally descended to become her beloved child. Therefore, there is no comparison to Mother Yaśoda's good fortune, as declared by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ramya kachid upasana vrajavadhu vargena ya kalpita. So, there is no worship, upasana, which can be compared to the type of worship that is conceived by the Vrajavadhus, the gopis. Vrajavadhu Varga, that means all the gopis. What is their type of worship? Kalpita means that they have, the type of worship that they have, I guess, introduced, or the one that they have. Kalpita means, that they do. So the absolute truth, that means like YASODAMAYI, she's simply loving Krishna, taking care of him in a relationship. That's all. So that is the highest type of upasana, highest type of worship. Please be like there's a caution here. Hearing this, we should not immediately jump to, now I will see Krishna as my child, and at night I will make him sleep in my bed because he's a child, and so on and so forth. Don't do any such things. There is a qualification to do anything. So this type of worship, it is the highest, but then there is a qualification for that. That relationship is awarded, that spiritual body is awarded. Before that, and now we didn't even get Drida Shraddha. So forget about all that. Just we have to follow the system, the way it is taught in the scripture and as given by the Acharya for us. We have to follow that. So we are aspiring to do Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti at this moment. Why Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti? Because we don't have taste. If we had taste, then we would be aspiring for Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. But if you don't have taste, then you have to, walk on that path of Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. So then there are rules and regulations that are given in Shastra which should be observed strictly. That's the point. But at the same time, we should understand the best type of worship is the worship done by the gopis. The absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, may be realized in different stages, as the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 4:11, Ye yathamam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. Mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. As men surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. One may be a karmi, a jnani, a yogi, and then a bhakta or prema bhakta. But the ultimate stage of realization is prema bhakti, as actually demonstrated by Mother Yaśodā. So you all know the transcendental diagram. So you know where prema bhakti is. And you know where we are before entering into Shuddha Bhakti, before getting even Dhrida Shraddha. So after crossing all those stages, then we'll come to prema bhakti. But YASODAMAYI is already there. The prema bhakti, in prema bhakti also there are different stages, higher and higher and higher levels. She's an eternal associate of Krishna in the spiritual world. So I'll stop Srimad Bhagavatam reading here. And let's read Bhagavad Gita. Yesterday we read about Rajoguna. Today we will read about Tamoguna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, the three modes of material nature, text 8. So what are the characteristics of Rajoguna? Somebody who's influenced by Rajoguna, what qualities do we see in such a person?
They are very passionate. They want to work or do whatever they do. They are very passionate about it.
Okay. Anybody else wants to add anything?
They're
Workaholic,
angry.
Mataji.
Angry. Okay.
US 13 North, Bristol Pike.
Workaholic.
Alcoholic. Okay.
Workaholic.
Workaholic. Yes. Okay. Yes. Any other points? Why are they workaholic?
Sense enjoyment. That's sense enjoyment.
Yes. Anything else?
Overambitious.
Yes, they have intense longing and desire. And then to fulfill those desires, now they will work. They become workaholics. They just work and work. Yes. So that is the quality of Rajoguna, or the mode of passion. How does this mode of passion increase? When your senses come in touch with the sense objects that are in the mode of passion, then because of that, all your mind, your intelligence, your chitta, they are all now influenced by Rajoguna. And therefore now Rajoguna desires. So then when they're influenced by that, the Rajoguna samskaras are formed or they come out. And then your desires also. Now you also want those things. That's what happens. Sattva-guna, you remember what are the qualities of Sattva-guna? Goodness.
Mataji, it's illuminating.
Yes.
It makes you receptive to knowledge.
Yes.
And happiness.
Correct.
Keeps happiness.
Yes. So it's illuminating, and also jnana and sukha, and also yes, Mataji.
Happiness and knowledge, Mataji.
Yes,
which
yes.
is the-
Happiness and knowledge. Yes. Mataji said that, happiness and knowledge. And also there is nirmalatvat, that means sinlessness. Prakashakam means illuminating. Anamayam, So anamayam means sinful reactions, being free from sinful reactions. Nirmalatvat means pure. Sukha and jnana sangena. So these are the symptoms of sattva guna. Rajoguna means ragatmakam viddhi. Trishna, sanga, samudbhavam. Trishna means intense longing. So you get, and then because of that intense longing, karma sangena. You'll be working like anything. Yes. And then, of course, when you have intense longing, it is not said here, but it is said elsewhere that when you have lust, intense desire is lust. When that lust is coming from the mode of passion, rajoguna samudbhava, kamesha, krodesha, rajoguna samudbhava. So then when there is lust and if that lust is not satisfied, then anger comes. So they're coming from the mode of passion. Okay. Now today's verse, text 8. Tamas-ajñāna-jaṁ viddhi mohanaṁ sarva-dehinām pramādālasya-nidrābhis nibadhnāti bhārata. Tamastu ajñāna-jaṁ viddhi. So this tamoguna or the mode of ignorance is coming from where? Ajñāna, ignorance. It's produced of ignorance. Mohanam, so tamaha, generally tama means it's darkness. So this, the mode of ignorance, it's also called tama, means it's darkness. What is it coming from? It's coming from ignorance. That's why it's called the mode of ignorance. Mohanam sarva-dehinām, viddhi mohanam. So it puts, what is the result of this when someone is in this mode of ignorance? He's in delusion, mohanam. So this ajñāna or ignorance is putting all living entities, conditioned souls in ignorance. Pramādālasya-nidrā. You know what is pramāda? Pramāda means not doing what is supposed to be done. Whatever is supposed to be done, you're not doing that. That means not being attentive. Pramāda. Pramāda means not being attentive to the work that you're supposed to do at that time. Alasya. Alas means laziness. Procrastinating. When you're supposed, you have to do a task and then you just keep postponing it. I still have 1 week time. The deadline is after 1 week. So I just don't do anything about it now. And then before I know, I have 2 days. Oh, still I have 2 days. It's okay. I can manage it. Oh, 1 day. Okay, 1 day. I have 1 day. But even in that 1 day, I still have 4 hours left. And in the last minute, now you have like last 1 hour left, and then you're trying to do something, and then you see that you're not able to do that work, complete that work, and then you just feel, frustrated, and you just leave it. You don't even do that. This is mode of ignorance. Pramada, alasya, nidra. Every time you get an opportunity, you just feel like, oh, I'll just sleep for some time. That's your happiness. Whenever you get some time, you want to just sleep. This is a symptom of the mode of ignorance. Pramada, alasya, nidra. Not being attentive to the work that you're supposed to do. Procrastinating, being lazy, and sleeping. These are the effects of a person who is under the influence of the mode of ignorance. Nibadhnāti bhārata. So he's bound. So these are the symptoms you see in a living entity that is bound by the mode of ignorance. O son of Bharata, know that the mode of darkness born of ignorance is the delusion of all embodied living entities. The results of this mode are madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul. Purport. In this verse, the specific application of the word tu is very significant. Tu. Tamas tvajnana. So this tva is tu. Tamastu ajñāna-jaṁ viddhi. So the word tu is very significant. This means that the mode of ignorance is a very peculiar qualification of the embodied soul. Embodied soul means the conditioned soul, now conditioned soul who now has a body. So it is a very peculiar qualification of the embodied soul. The mode of ignorance is just the opposite of the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, by development of knowledge, one can understand what is what. But the mode of ignorance is just the opposite. Everyone under the spell of the mode of ignorance becomes mad, and a madman cannot understand what is what. Please note this. And like we discussed before also, how does one go into any particular mode? By the environment, by the food, and by the activities, surroundings, people, association, everything counts. Some examples we will see later also in the 17th chapter. But food which is in the mode of ignorance, if you're eating rotten food, that's in the mode of ignorance. Stale food, rotten food, mode of ignorance. Not taking bath, wearing dirty clothes, keeping the house dirty. All these things are mode of ignorance. Then when one is under the spell of the mode of ignorance, what is the effect? Pramāda, madness. That means you won't be able to see things as they are. Even when you hear, you will not be able to accept the message as it is. Instead of making advancement, one becomes degraded. That's why Srila Prabhupada says, if you want to make advancement in Krishna consciousness, you should stay clean, Srila Prabhupada says, because then you will make progress quickly. Cleanliness is next to godliness, because that is the mode of goodness. But if we stay in the mode of ignorance, then we cannot understand what is what. Instead of making advancement, one becomes degraded. The definition of the mode of ignorance is stated in the Vedic literature. Vastu yathatmya jnana varakam viparyaya jnana janakam tamaha. What is tamaha? What is ignorance? Vastu means an object. Yathatmya, as it is. Jnana varakam viparyaya jnana janakam. Right? So you get the opposite knowledge. Whatever there is, so let's say something is black, you get the knowledge that it is white, like that. You get the opposite knowledge when you are in the mode of ignorance. Under the spell of ignorance, one cannot understand a thing as it is. That is why mode of goodness is stressed so much. The whole purpose we want Daiva Varnashrama society, Daiva Varnashrama community is to cultivate mode of goodness. That's the whole purpose. And then in that mode of goodness, when you hear Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, you will be able to grasp the message as it is. And when you grasp the message as it is, your faith will be formed. And when you get firm faith, now you can begin pure devotional service. Under the spell of ignorance, one cannot understand a thing as it is. For example, everyone can see that his grandfather has died and therefore he also will die. Man is mortal. Right? We have seen the children that he conceives will also die. The way his father and grandfather died, his children will also die. We have also seen, right? I think our parents, some of us, they have died. We have seen that. And the fact is, our children will also die. That means death is sure. Still, People are madly accumulating money and working very hard all day and night, not caring for the eternal spirit. They want to save money for their children, for their grandchildren, and this and that. I don't know why we are accumulating so much money and property and everything. For what? We won't be there. What we have, the most valuable thing that we have is time. And with that time, how are you going to use the human energy you have? This, if you use your time to do Shravanam Kirtanam, this is the best investment you're doing. It is only through Shravanam Kirtanam that you can get prema, which is the highest goal. But when we are in the mode of ignorance, we won't be able to understand that. Even after hearing all this, we spend all our time in accumulating money. People are madly accumulating money and working very hard all day and night, not caring for the eternal spirit. So many years have passed already without doing anything. At least now, whatever remaining time we have, we should turn to. So how now? Okay, this may sound discouraging. Please give a solution how to come out of this, right? The solution is to come. Even the mode of goodness is not safe. It's not that you just remain in the mode of goodness. If you are staying on the material platform, you are happy with your, material happiness. That is also not stable. That also won't stay. Because the thing is, none of these modes are stable. As we read in the coming verses, we will see there is always competition between the three. Even in one day, you will see. And sometime you are feeling very peaceful and happy, like you have achieved something and you completed your project or whatever. And then later in the day, all of a sudden, again, something else happens and again you're disturbed. The modes are constantly competing with each other to get the upper hand. So even if you're in the mode of goodness, material mode of goodness, don't be happy. Don't be satisfied with that. It won't stay. The best thing is to get out of all three modes. For that, you have to engage in transcendental activities. That's all. Come out of all three modes. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. You have to engage yourself in transcendental activities and bhakti activities. In their madness, they are very reluctant to make advancement in spiritual understanding, right? We don't have time for spiritual life. We are so busy in our material activities, in our social dealings, in our family matters and our career and academics and whatnot, that we don't see spiritual understanding as being crucial, very important. This is madness. Yes, Mataji, I'll just finish this purport. In their madness, they're very reluctant to make advancement in spiritual understanding. Such people are very lazy. Yeah. Why you are not paying attention? Because you're lazy. Why you're lazy? Because of the influence of the mode of ignorance. When they are invited to associate for spirit, Prabhupada is writing this in the purport, okay? When they are invited to associate for spiritual understanding, they are not much interested. They are not even active like the man who is controlled by the mode of passion, at least. In the mode of passion, yes, he's working like a workaholic, right? He's working. Mode of ignorance, he doesn't do anything. Lazy, sleeping, madness. They're not even active like the man who's controlled by the mode of passion. Thus, another symptom of one embedded in the mode of ignorance is that he sleeps more than is required. Now, what is required? 6 hours of sleep is sufficient. This is not the lower limit. This is the upper limit. 6 hours is more than enough. If we are sleeping more than 6 hours, then things have to be adjusted. Our lifestyle, our work schedule, and everything else has to be adjusted. because more sleep means ignorance. 6 hours of sleep is sufficient, but a man in the mode of ignorance sleeps at least 10 or 12 hours a day. Such a man appears to be always dejected and is addicted to intoxicants and sleeping. These are the symptoms of a person conditioned by the mode of ignorance. So from these symptoms, we can understand who is in the mode of ignorance, who is in the mode of passion or goodness. It's not that one person is always in ignorance and you just label that person as an ignorant person. We also go through this, right? Sometimes under the mode of ignorance, sometimes under the mode of passion, sometimes under the mode of goodness. You can look at yourself at that time and then you can see, oh, now I'm being overcome by the mode of ignorance. Why? What is wrong? Right? Something, maybe association, maybe cleanliness, maybe food, something. Rectify that. The best thing is we should have a program in our day which keeps our day always, how do I say? So we should have such a program in our day that we get an opportunity to do bhakti throughout the day. Some program for deity worship. Grihasthas must do deity worship. So we should have some kind of deity worship, everybody. And so then that when you say deity worship, that involves, worshipping and cooking and cleaning. That takes time. Then chanting, then hearing. And even when you have to go shopping or something, then also you hear like this. So by these bhakti activities, what will happen? The influence of the modes is removed. Goodness, passion, ignorance, all three. Because bhakti is transcendental. That's the only thing we should do. And of course, to do bhakti, Prabhupada, so you cannot perform bhakti in a dirty place. That comes automatically. So I will stop here. We read about Tamoguna today. And in Bhagavatam, we read about how Yaśodāmayi sees Krishna only as her son. Different people are seeing Krishna in different ways, but Yaśodāmayi sees Krishna only as her son, and that is her most exalted position. Does anyone have any questions? And if anyone needs to leave, you can leave. Thank you. No questions?
I've got a question, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
In the Pushti Marg in Gujarat, the Pushti Marg is very, very popular sect. And they worship Ladu Gopal.
Yes.
And even from now on, wherever I go, Pushti Marg people always do Ladu Gopal. So even if, as a kid, they are made to worship Ladu Gopal and they treat him as a child.
Yes.
They don't go through the stages that we go through, like servant and then friend and all that. They go straight. And as I know some people, they have actually progressed into taking Krishna as their son. How does that work out?
I mean, we also see Krishna as Radha Krishna. We are directly worshipping Radha Krishna in, so we know the goal that having been given initiation in this line, we are all Rupanugas, followers of Rupa Goswami, who is Rupa Manjari in the spiritual world. So we are also clear. We worship Krishna as Radha Krishna in youth, like that. So similarly, different Vaiṣṇava sampradayas worship the Lord. So in Pushti Marg, so Sripad Vallabhacharya, he is the Acharya. So there, they worship Krishna as Bal Gopal. That's their, that's how they see the Lord.
Yes.
And when we begin, even if you see him as the Lord, still that understanding is there that he is the Supreme Lord. You see, you don't take the Lord into, like, how do I say? There are stages. It's not that they don't go through the stages. The thing is, for one to go through the stages also, first thing is you have to have Shraddha, Dridha Shraddha. Dridha Shraddha means there is no karma. There is no more karma. In faith, externally, even if they are in family and all, but their faith will be that. So like you're saying, if they see that Krishna is my child and the devotee is in the relationship that I am the mother of Krishna, if they have that Vatsalya relationship with Krishna, it's possible. But it's extremely rare for someone to start off from there. That's Raganuga Bhakti. In Raganuga Bhakti, the qualification to begin Raganuga Bhakti is you have this taste and you have this greed for the love that the Brajbasis have for Krishna. So in this case, maybe YASODAMAYI or some other elderly gopi will be their role model. And the person has this intense greed to get that type of love that this devotee has. And then when such a person comes in contact with devotees, when he hears pastimes of the Lord or when he takes darshan of the Lord in the temple, then naturally he just becomes very much attracted to that. But we should always remember, when it is pure devotional service, it is 24 hours. It's not for some time. It is not for some time that in the morning and evening we make some offering to Krishna, and during that time we see Krishna as a baby, and the rest of the time you are going about your duties, in family and in work. Then that is not Shuddha Bhakti. So Shuddha Bhakti, in Shuddha Bhakti you have Sadhana Bhakti. In Sadhana Bhakti you have Raganuga and Vaidhi Bhakti. So if you have seen somebody who has actually gone to such high levels, means they have gone through the stages. How can you say that they didn't go through the stages? It may have happened in the past life also. So let's say if I enter into pure devotional service in this lifetime and I'm somewhere in the stage of anartha nivritti and I became old, my body became old and I gave up this body, then when I begin in my next life, I will start from there only. So at that time, it will seem like, oh, directly, this person has so much bhakti, and maybe if I'm in bhava, then I'm already in a relationship with the Lord. So it appears like this person has advanced, directly there. It's not directly. I've gone through the stages in my previous life. So devotees can be at different stages. That's possible.
Okay, thank you very much.
Did that answer your question, Mataji?
Yes, now I understand that they have gone through some stages before coming.
Yes.
Because one of my friends, her marriage was arranged with a boy. He was a female enclosed in a man's body. And she was quite upset. So she went to her guru, their family guru. And the guru gave her a Ladu Gopal and said, "This is your son. When you get married, you want a son. Well, this is your son. You worship him, and your life will be satisfactory." She has done it successfully, and they've lived together, never got divorced or anything. They've lived together all their lives, and they've got a Ladu Gopal, and they're happily married.
Yes. Very nice. Yes, Mataji.
So I was wondering, how do they manage straight away going for the Ladu Gopal and not like us? But now I know that they've gone through the stages in previous life.
That's possible. And also the other possibility is when the guru gives mercy, if the guru has that type of potency, that much love, devotion, he's so elevated and advanced in bhakti, And
Yeah.
if the guru decides, it's not that the guru gives same mercy to everyone. It's not like that. So the guru may want to give more mercy to this particular devotee. And if this devotee does not have too many offenses, if all these things come together, then because of that mercy, then they can really progress very quickly, even if they didn't have that in the previous life. That's also possible.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hare
Thanks,
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Achita Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada, Jai Guru
Yes, sir.
Maharaj Mataji. Now, Mataji, yes, when I heard from you, it really I felt like that. You know, in this material world, everyone are so busy in academics, career, and you know, about having a big house and decorating and so many things. You know, they are busy and they that is becoming a vast, while this bhakti in spiritual life is very a tiny one, like that it is.
Yes, sir.
When we are trying ourselves now in Krishna conscious, we have been through devotees association, we are learning, we are trying to come closer, become closer to Krishna. But it happens like when we are hearing all this, you know, Mataji, like yesterday when you explained about Rajaguna, no, yes, it is like when, like suppose when we visit India and you know, when we are with our extended family members, it's really difficult, Mataji, to um, be in the sattvic mode of goodness, you know.
Yes.
That is because if we don't listen also, it's hard. Like it's very difficult to balance a relationship also, Mataji. How to do in this way?
You have to, so you have to, I mean, according to our faith, we will actually adjust our life in such a way where we will minimize association with the people and the objects which are in the modes of passion and ignorance. So the more, so you, like this, when you keep hearing more and more about bhakti, every time you're hearing, it's like, you know, there's an impression that is formed on the chitta. Samskaras are being formed when you're hearing and hearing. So when these samskaras become really strong, then there's a desire. You get a desire that, yes, this is the life that I want. Then you will avoid unwanted association. So there are 6 do's and 6 do nots, right? In Nectar of Instruction we study. So
But we cannot avoid them also, right, Mataji? We cannot avoid very close related to us, Mataji, very close maternal means our own extended family, very close. Not means we are not in touch with other relatives. We just visit and see how they are doing, and that's it. And we come, we meet. But very, like, if we don't. Can I quote an example wise? Is it okay?
if you're not quoting any person's name, so their thing should not be, yeah. Without taking any names, you can give an example.
Not a name, Mataji. I cannot take the name. Like I want to, because I'm in delusion, not knowing what to do. In the sense, I don't know.
It's
Maybe
okay. If it's a personal thing, then
audio
yeah.
message, Mataji. I'll
Yes,
send
yes,
audio
yes,
message.
yes.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes.
Yeah. But the bottom line is that you cannot get both. If you want to keep them also happy, and also you want to make progress in bhakti also nicely, it will not happen like that. You will have to choose at some point. You will have to show what is important to you. I'm not saying that you have to, be rude or harsh or anything, but it will become clear, when something is just like, let's say, if something is very, very extremely important for you, whatever that might be, and then at the same time, one of your relatives calls you, like a casual call, what will you do? You may not answer because you really have an important thing that you have to do. Maybe you have an exam or something, like it's Janmashtami festival and you have so many services, something very urgent. At that time, you don't consider that, it's a very close family member and I have to do. Maybe you will consider, but it depends on what's your priority at that time? What is most important to you at that time? You will do that. So similarly, for you to choose bhakti as the most important over everything else, for you to choose that, then you need to have that type of faith, full faith. That's why this word firm faith or dridha shraddha is not a light word. Dridha shraddha means no room for anyone else or anything else in your heart. That is Krishna's demand. Sarva-dehinām parityajya, Krishna is saying. Give up all dharmas. My duty. Dharma means what? My duty towards family, my duty towards country, my duty towards this and that. Nothing. You give up everything. Mamekam, he's saying, only me. That's his demand. Shuddha Bhakti doesn't come so cheaply. We have to pay the price. The price is accept only Krishna. In your heart, externally you may be wherever you are. But where is your heart? Who are you choosing? And we will be tested. No doubt we will be tested. Again and again we'll be tested. And when we are tested, that's when we realize how much bhakti we have, where our heart is, we see. And then we have to, again, learn from that and try to build that faith. Choose Krishna always. We have enemies within our heart. Why go outside? It's not about the people outside. It's all attachments in my heart, in my mind. Where are my attachments? And because this topic came, I'll tell you something. This was actually said by Maharaj, His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj, quoting from, I forget where he's quoting it from, but he said, Ramayana. He's quoting from Ramayana. So he said, either Ramayana or Ramcharitmanas, I'm not sure. But Maharaj says, Lord Ramchandra's pastimes. He says that we have, so many, like you have threads, right? Threads. Like that, we have attachments for so many things. Attachment for my child, attachment for my husband, attachment for my parents, attachment for wealth, attachment for my house, attachment for this and that, and so many things. So the Lord is saying that person who brings all these threads together and makes it into a thick rope. And then with that rope, he ties his mind to the lotus feet of the Lord. I'll say that again. We have so many attachments in this world. All these attachments are like threads. The person who brings all these threads together and ties it into a one tight rope, and then he ties his mind with that rope to the lotus feet of the Lord. The Lord says, towards such person, what is the Lord's feeling? He says that the way, the person who brings all these threads together and ties it into a one tight rope, and then he ties his mind with that rope to the lotus feet of the Lord. The Lord says, towards such person, what is the Lord's feeling? He says that the way, the person who brings all these threads together and ties it into a one tight rope, and then he ties his mind with that rope to the lotus feet of the Lord. The Lord says, a miser is in his heart, always there is money, wealth, that his mind is fixed on money wherever he is, because he's a miser. The way a miser's heart dwells on money at every moment, like that, the Lord's heart dwells on this person. Which person? The person who pulls his heart away, like whatever attachments he may have towards anything in this whole world or in his family. We have many attachments. Very superficially, we think, oh, I love Krishna, I have so. If you really look inside, you'll see how many attachments we have. We don't even realize that. So we have to bring all those attachments together and give up all that. That means tie that towards Krishna. That means no attachment to this. All my attachments are now only towards Krishna, nobody else. Then that is sarva-dharman parityajya. Mamekam sharanam vraja. That is dridha shraddha. Then you begin Shuddha Bhakti. It's okay. We have long ways to go, but this is the path. Regularly hearing and increasing more and more, engaging in devotional activities more and more. Okay, thank you very much. I will end here. Granth-raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mataji, I had a question, but I'll ask you tomorrow
Okay. Okay.
before we start the class.
Oh, like that. Okay.
No, means like it is regarding the devotees, like we are talking about the Ishta Devata, like how they see, if they like that. Regarding that, I have some questions, so we can talk tomorrow.
Okay.
It's
Hare
already